or welcome back to Francesca's Books. My name is Francesca, these are my books, and here we talk about all things thriller books. I'm your go-to thriller girly, if you will. I've got a bit of everything coming at you in this video. We're going to have book reviews, we're going to have day-to-day life, what it's like being a content creator, a little catch-up, maybe a little Q&A, who knows. So some of you have noticed I've not been posting as much for the last few weeks. I've still been posting, like I'm still all good, but there's been a few things going on in my personal life, so I've just reined it in a little bit, taking some self-care time. But I'm single again and we'll be going into zero more detail than that, but just know I've just been processing and now I'm back on form. And secondly, it was quite nice to just tone it down a little bit because this is my full-time job. I content create for a living, so sometimes you reach the point of creative burnout and you struggle for new ideas and things that you want to talk about, and then even when you do talk about things, it's just like less passionate, and I think it just really comes across in the content that I make. So I now feel like rejuvenated. I don't know how to describe it. Maybe I should do this more, but the main reason that I actually feel like refreshed and just so much more content is because I went on holiday for 5 days over the weekend just gone. Completely last minute, completely on my own, and didn't even take my camera. I was that dedicated to like actually having a break. I knew if that camera was in my suitcase when I went on that trip, I would vlog it. I just knew, so I left it at home. Highly recommend going away on your own if you have never done it, even if just like for the experience. If you're in a position to, like financially and physically, of course, appreciate not everybody is, but if you are, I do just recommend doing it and just giving it a go. Like, what's the worst that can happen? Like, you feel a bit on your own. That's it. That's the worst thing that can happen. The great things that can happen are unlimited coffee, no one judging what you do every day, reading as many books as you want, doing whatever you want. It's great. So because I didn't vlog any of it, I do only have like a few pictures on my Kindle as the only evidence that I ever went, but that is fine by me. But I thought I would start the week in my life video off by telling you what I thought of the books that I read, because I read 5.5 books in just short of 5 days, and I am severely impressed with myself. So firstly, I read The Woman in Cabin 10 by Ruth Ware. This was my first Ruth Ware book. I have still no idea, no clue how it's possible I've gotten this far in my life and in my journey as a thriller girly and not read any Ruth Ware, but I have to say I'm going to be reading more. It was brilliant. This has also been adapted for a Netflix series if you're interested. Spoilers, there's more on that tomorrow. However, that was the reason that I read it in preparation for this partnership, and I am obsessed. There's now a sequel, which is The Woman in Suite 11, which I'm also definitely gonna read. It was engaging, it was great for like vacation vibes, but also it was set in the North Sea, like between England and Scandinavia. So it's not like a hot holiday destination, so I guess you could read it through winter as well and it would still like give you all the vibes. I ended up giving it 4 stars. I think it's probably more like a 4.5. I just really liked it and I haven't stopped thinking about it in like a really promising way. Then I read Problematic Summer Romance by Ali Hazelwood, and I am beyond disappointed with this book. Okay, I picked it up, I was so excited. I've been saving it specifically for when I go on a holiday. We have 2 people, it's set at a wedding, there's an age gap romance as part of this, and boy don't we know it. The female is 23 and the guy is like mid-30s, and I'm already thinking like I don't really see an issue with this if they're the right people. Anyway, it gets so much worse than that. So we have a female main character who is the biggest beg I've ever met in my entire life. All she does is plead and beg this man to be with her. He's like, why can't we be together, why? And he's like, I'm too old, I'm too old, I'm too old. He is boring. I don't even understand this book. I just don't get it. I wish I DNF'd it. I will not be recommending it. And off the back of that, I will say that I do normally really like Ali Hazelwood's books. All the STEM books that she's written, so like Love Hypothesis, Love on the Brain was just okay. Love Theoretically was really good, but that side of her writing I've always really enjoyed, so I thought this would be similar. And I love a good age gap romance when it's not everything about the characters, and in this it very much was. So I gave it 2 stars, but it's probably more like a 1 star. I couldn't really think of many redeeming factors apart from the spice was quite good, that was quite well written. The rest of it, it's a no from me. Then I read Strangers in the Villa by Robin Harding, which is a 2026 release. I was so happy to finally get to this. I was going to put it in a new release reading vlog for you guys, but it was just the perfect book to take away, and I was adamant I didn't want to film, so I thought I'm gonna be selfish for once and just read what I want to read. So we're following this couple who moved from the US to Spain to start a new life over. They've bought this like villa that needed renovating, all very like idealistic. The guy in the relationship had had an affair, so the wife was like trying to put it behind her, and they thought a new start would do them good. Great premise. Until this Australian couple knock on their door because their van's broken down right outside their villa, and they just take them in because they're nice people, and also they're thinking, yeah, maybe we do want a little bit of company, like we've been here on our own. And this just spirals, absolutely spirals, like cabin fever spirals. I absolutely love the way Robin Harding writes. Her writing is just the perfect level for me of sophisticated but also being easy to read. I can't really explain it. Like, Charlie Donnelly as an author is more on the sophisticated end of the scale, and then you've got Frida McFadden on the popcorny thriller end of the scale. And Robin Harding's writing is like the perfect balance for me. It's like a 6 or a 7 on that scale towards the sophisticated side, but just so easily digestible. It was giving really good vibes being set in Spain. I really enjoyed this. It was a good setting without it being a vacation thriller. It definitely didn't read like a, oh no, they're all lost at sea, or oh no, they're at a party resort in Thailand and someone's gone missing. It was very much a domestic thriller. So I gave this 4.5. I did still prefer The Drowning Woman, but I feel like that's also a little bit of the shock factor of picking up a new author and being like, oh my God, having given The Drowning Woman 5 stars. This is a 4.5, really solid thriller, and I can't wait for you guys to read it. So then I read a little novella by Sally Hepworth, which was on Kindle Limited. I've never read anything from this author before either, so we're diving into some new authors here. The Ex-Wives Club, I was obsessed with. This was only 85 pages and it was such a good little read. I so wish that this was a full-length novel. It's about this restaurant owner who is unalived, and his 3 ex-wives are all like the suspects. However, he saves them a table in the restaurant that he owns, and they just go there and they don't pay and they get whatever they want, and they're just absolute queens. And then one night he's found unalive, so of course everyone suspects them. But the way that they were portrayed in this was just bougie as hell, and I loved it. So I gave it 4 stars because there's only so much you can get from a novella. You can't really rate a novella 5 stars because there's nowhere near enough time to develop out these characters to a point where you could think that is a 5-star book. But I think if it was fleshed out, it would have been. And then speaking of 5-star reads, I read The Patient Secret by Loreth Ann White, and this is an author I've only read one other book from, The Maid's Diary, I believe. The Maid's Diary. So this was another book on Kindle Limited, and I was absolutely blown away. I really enjoyed The Maid's Diary. I think I gave it like a 4.5, 4 star. Loved this author's writing, but this was just nothing like groundbreaking for me. The Patient Secret, fantastic. It was an easy 5-star because it was just twist left, right and centre. We had some great female main characters, we had great point of view switches, we had characters, we had red herrings. It was just everything that I could possibly want from a thriller book. It might not be everyone's cup of tea. I have seen some reviews that have said there's one too many twists, and if that's you, I don't know what to tell you, because the more twists the better in my opinion. But I really enjoyed this. Full thoughts will of course be in September's Reading Wrapped, but and then the final book that I started, I told you, I read so much, like an unbelievable amount. I guess when you're on your own and you're at an all-inclusive, it kind of is just all I was doing all day. However, the next book that I started was One Click by Andrea Mara. You guys know I adore this author. Like, she can do no wrong. I have never rated a book of hers less than 4 star, and that is so rare because out of all the thriller authors that I read, there's normally 1 or 2 misses, even if I absolutely love them. Andrea Mara, there never has been. So this is one of her earlier books, so I am reading it on my Kindle. I can't seem to get a physical copy. I think it's one that's now out of publication, so it might be a charity shop job for me to like go and hunt for it. And there's 2 more that are similar that are like backlist books, and I can't seem to get my hands on physically, but I'm gonna read them on my Kindle. In this one, we're following a woman who is with her daughters on holiday. She takes a picture of this woman on the beach who's just looking like super cool, like really vibey. She's like got a like hand tossed over with her book, just like really chilled out. She posts it to her blog. Now this book was set a while ago. This is before the times of like Instagram and influencers, I guess, but that is effectively what she is. Our main character is an influencer and she posts these pictures. I guess it's just like the language that's changed over time. So when she posts this picture, she starts getting messages that are like, tell me who that is, I need to know who that is, and the story goes from there. I think because it's written a little while ago, I have struggled slightly with the concept, but there's no fault on the author's writing. I imagine at the time this would have landed perfectly. It's just using terms like blog. I feel like it's maybe in like a MySpace, Facebook era as opposed to an Instagram, TikTok era. So your girl's struggling a little bit being I want to say I'm a Gen Z. Do you think I'm a Gen Z? So I'll definitely be finishing One Click during the next week, so I will keep you updated on my final thoughts. And then before we dive into the rest of the vlog, I wanted to bring to everybody's attention if you hadn't seen this already, I was indeed on the set of The Housemaid back in January. This is very, very, very exciting and something I have been dying to share with you guys. I did a full post over on Instagram and over on TikTok, so I'll link those below so you can go and see. Here's a couple of the photos. If you want to go and see like the full debrief, of course you can go and do that. I have actually vlogged the whole thing as well, and I'm so, so excited to share that with you guys, but it still might be a little while because there's all sorts of like reasons. I have also vlogged the entire thing. So we're starting this week in life vlog on a Wednesday. Kind of sums me up as a person. I only just got back from my trip last night, hence why I'm feeling fresh. I have some editing to do today, some emails to answer, and then I'm going to pop over to my grandparents later to check in on them, probably have a cup of tea, and then tomorrow I'm heading down to London. So let's go. So I'm just filming the same little wrap up I gave to you guys for TikTok and Instagram about the books that I read on vacation because I haven't updated it in so long, so let's go. Also, I feel like this is such a behind the scenes. I have this huge mirror behind my camera all the time so I can make sure I'm in the frame. Now it's posting time, and I honestly feel like this is the most time consuming part because I check everything like 15 times before it ever goes live. And now we have the daily TikTok post. Today I'm posting about spooky season book recommendations that aren't paranormal because I feel like every time I post about like the best autumn fall reads to add to your TBR, it's like, is this supernatural? So I'm doing some recommendations that are not. What do we think to my doormat? I'm kind of obsessed. Hi, Nanny!
Oh, just have to close it to work.
No worries. So made it to London. I'm just about to meet up with Lexi because tonight we're going into The Woman in Cabin 10 premiere. The book by Ruth Ware has been adapted by Netflix, so we're going to the screening, but of course making the most of London first. So we're going to work together for a little bit and probably go to Waterstones immediately. For my American friends, that is the biggest Waterstones in the whole of Europe. So I've obviously already read the book, but I have to buy a trade copy from Waterstones.
I thought it was extraordinary.
Full debrief tomorrow was very different from the book. Good morning, friends. Don't be fooled, you are indeed in my kitchen cupboard whilst I'm making my morning coffee because this is not only the most important part of my day, but my favourite part of every single day. I have, honestly, 10 maybe of these like glass tumblers that I always make my drinks in because then you can't really go wrong. They all fit together. You just can't really lose. Someone asked me for my coffee recipe as well, and it's actually not as exciting as it looks on the machine. It's literally just brown sugar and honey in here. Then I pour this espresso over it and then pour it into the milk and ice. Occasionally, if I'm feeling adventurous, I'll add like a couple of pumps of vanilla if I want something like a little bit sweeter. But that is it. So last night was absolutely incredible, but I was so tired when I got back. There was no way that I could have like debriefed on my thoughts on the film or anything else. Like, your girl needs your sleep. I got back at 12:30 last night, so I have had a slightly later start this morning, but that's okay. That is the main benefit of working for yourself, is you can like flex around how you're feeling. Like, don't get me wrong, I work way more than I used to when I was in a PAYE job, like a salaried job. I work more hours, but the good thing is that it's completely flexible if you're not feeling like 100%. I don't know if I managed to get a clip of it last night, but I did see Keira Knightley in the flesh. So she starred in The Woman in Cabin 10, the adaptation that I went to see with Netflix, which was very, very fun. She was in absolutely all her glory, and she was very like humble. So like she came on the stage last to be introduced and was just like, hi. Hi! Which was really fun. So Simon & Schuster very kindly took me to that event last night, which was really fun. So they are the publisher of The Woman in Suite 11, which is the second book, the follow-up to The Woman in Cabin 10. And of course, it was in partnership with Netflix, which is very exciting. So by the time I post this vlog, you'll be able to watch it on Netflix as well. So you'll have to let me know what you thought. I was very surprised. I think there was some differences from the book, and I know that a lot of book lovers sometimes get a bit salty about that, and honestly I don't really blame you, but I feel like the changes they made it better for TV. Like, these people know exactly what they're doing. I'm trying to find the strongest coffee this morning. I'm on a Charo. So the screenwriter adapts the book for screen, and if there's things that won't work well on screen for whatever reason, because obviously it's been written as a novel first, then they just play around with it. And sometimes when they make these changes, I'm with you, I'm like, it's different, but at the same time, you've got to trust the artistic process with things like this. So overall, absolutely love the book. As I told you at the start of this video, gave it 4.5, and I would definitely recommend the show as well. I also managed to pick up my trophy copy, as I showed you guys, which is very exciting. So today, now, we are back to business. We don't sleep on anything here. I haven't finished One Click by Andrea Mara, which I have no idea why. It's been another 2 days. I need to just get that read. So that will be on the agenda today. I'm also going to go to a coffee shop later to, another coffee, to focus, because working for myself at home, it just gets a bit, not lonely, lonely's the wrong word, but sometimes you can feel less motivated. So that's why I do days as well, like yesterday, obviously aside from the screening, in the daytime when Lexi and I were working together. And then the most exciting part of this job is getting the videos together for you guys. So I always plan my content, maybe a few days in advance, just so I know which books I want to talk about on which topics, because if I just sit down with my camera, I could talk about anything. I just got 2 parcels so big that I've had to set up the tripod to open them. I think I know what this one is. I think it's Katrina Ward's new book. It's always so exciting when you don't know what's coming in the post. What is this? Oh, it's a candle. Oh, and some matches. Eee! It is indeed, and it's called Nowhere Burning. Nowhere is Burning? No, Nowhere Burning. Obsessed. I'm absolutely obsessed with this cover. Perfect for spooky season. Definitely gonna light that candle later. And then this, when it came, I had to open the top straight away. I was like, what the hell is even happening? The UPS guy was like, what have you ordered? Oh my God, it's so heavy. Okay, I remember now. I was so confused opening that. It's one of YouTube's partner perk rewards that they've sent me. Do you remember when they sent me that clapperboard that I now use in every video insufferably? It was one of those situations, and it is a backgammon board game. Okay, just be right back. I'm going to search on YouTube how to play backgammon, so it's very impressive when people come around. I fancy wearing something nice and new and having a feel-good night tonight, so I've come to TK Maxx to see if I can find anything. Not my normal shop of choice for clothes, but it's the only one that's really local to me, and it's also next to a works. The real reason I'm here. They have in a lot of Christmas books, which is early, but if you're a Christmas girly, then you're going to be sorted this year. Mainly the Christmas romance ones, but there is a new Lucy Score Christmas book, which looked really good. And then there is never really any, I have this problem every single year about good Christmas thriller books, because they're always cozy crime or romance book. I guess people just want to be happy around the holidays and Christmas, but I'm just here give me my thrillers. And I also got that dress as well for tonight. I'm not sure about it. I'm going to try it on and then maybe wear it. It's actually from a Stradivarius and was only £10, so I thought even if I don't wear it, it might be a good one to just have in the wardrobe. I can't show you. I'll show you later. You guys, on the shelf, this looked like nothing. I was taking a risk, and nothing has ever fitted me better in my entire life. That is what you call a success. Someone asked me if they could have a full living room tour after I'd done like the little bits of renovation. So I thought, yeah, sure, why not? I'll show you. It's gonna make way more sense actually if I put in the clips now of what the living room looked like before. Otherwise you're gonna be like, yeah, that looks okay. But when you see the difference, this is the little dining area. I got this table off Facebook Marketplace. I sold the black sofa that was here, spoilers, and bought the rest of the furniture pretty much with what I got. I, of course, got this gorgeous print. This is from Inca Art House. I think they're actually an Australian brand, but I just loved it so much. I was like, I need this in my life. And I didn't want to add too much more on here, otherwise it might get a bit busy. I did all this paneling myself. Honestly, I don't even know what I was doing. I just did it one day over a few days and didn't even hesitate. Don't look, there is a few little cracks in it, okay, but I'm just a girl. Actually, I have set up a second TikTok account that's everything like renovation. If you guys want to go and check that out, you're very welcome. I'll leave it in the description. But it's basically my 7-day journey on doing this living room, and most of it was that paneling. And then also got this table off Facebook Marketplace. The rug was from Wayfair. And then I also got these new sofas from Wayfair, which were crazy cheap as well. I wasn't really expecting a lot when they arrived, and I love them. And then just a little area. This is where the blanket should go, but I've kind of kept it on here because I'm so nervous I'm gonna ruin the cream sofa. And then on this side, this is where we have the bookcases that I was building. Of course, these are nowhere near done. They're just up and ready. Like there is a few bits I've bought specifically, like these couple of plants. I bought this plant in last time's vlog. And some pictures, but obviously it needs a lot more, and I haven't even put any books on it yet, so these are just ones that have accumulated. And I also got this plant, which I've somehow managed to keep alive so far, so I'm pretty happy with that. So I know I'm reading One Click by Andrew Mara. It's still good. I'm like 75% of the way through. However, I physically cannot spend my Saturday off. Like I have one day of the week where I'm like, do whatever you want, no work, nothing else. Today is that day, and there's no way I'm spending today not reading Claire McIntosh's new book. So this is her 2026 release called It's Not What You Think, and I literally just can't wait any longer. I'm gonna fully vlog every single bit of my reaction to this in a different video, but for the purposes of the week of my life, just know that it's happening. So in this, we're following a woman who is suspecting her boyfriend of cheating. So instead of confronting him about it, I think she tries to like set him up, or goes home when she thinks that the person he's cheating with is also going to be there to like catch them in the act. And then when she gets there, not only is she not there, he's unalived, just on the floor. Kind of a slay, like I hope it was her. And obviously I am a huge fan of Claire McIntosh, and I've been told that this is her best yet by a lot of people whose opinions I really respect. So let's find out. You guys are so not ready for this book. I'm 120 pages in, and honestly, I want to be Claire McIntosh when I grow up. She's so cool. This book is incredible, like incredible. It's really given me that 5-star feeling already. So taking a quick break for my little Saturday afternoon ritual.
Best recommendation.
Okay friends, it's time to film some TikToks on this Saturday evening before it gets too dark. It's currently like 4:30, so I have hope because technically the sun doesn't set until like 7, but I don't tend to film past like 5 or 6 because it needs to be nice and bright. But first, I have not tidied my studio in the longest time, so I have these stacks of random books that just are in no particular order. They've just stacked them up. We're also looking a little bit overloaded on the bookshelves as well, so I'm gonna try and fix this before I film. These are mainly books I've just bought and did do a book haul vlog on. And I've just not shelved them yet. And I'm loving hardbacks at the moment, guys. Like, every single book I want to read it in hardback. I just don't know what's happened to me. I think because I'm really enjoying the just like having the book open on the coffee table downstairs. But either way, it's tempting me to read these first. Okay, so now it's all tidy. I am going to film my next video, which is going to be 20 most popular thriller authors and my favourite book from them to celebrate 20,000 subscribers, which I genuinely cannot even comprehend, to be honest. So you're just going to have to trust me that I filmed the video because I can't film myself filming. Hello friends, I've just filmed my top 20 thriller authors and my top book from each of them, which I was yapping for over an hour, so get ready for that. Here is a little sneak preview, only because I feel like that video will probably be posted first, but I have so much fun just yapping. I have to cut down my video so much, it's unbelievable. Now it's too dark outside to film anymore, so that's my own fault. Yes, it's a tomorrow job. Hello friends, it is Monday morning. We're feeling refreshed. We're feeling on a good vibe this week. I just have a good feeling about this week. I actually feel so lucky that on a Monday, like I'm so excited for Monday every single week. I never dread it. Like what a life. Although my skin is kind of breaking out, so I'm not happy about that. Maybe that is a sign my body's physically stressed. Doesn't seem important. So I'm already halfway through my first coffee, which is not a good sign, but I have been answering some emails this morning. I have so much exciting work like in the pipeline. There's only so much you guys ever see, but then there's a lot of like behind the scenes stuff of campaigns that like almost make it, like books that I'm almost a part of, but obviously the ones that do come off and you guys see, like that is such an amazing feeling. And then I don't know about anyone else, but I'm trying to up my game on LinkedIn a little bit. I don't know if any of you guys also like corporate girlies and feel the need to do this as well, but I just think it's a good thing to like stay out there. So I've been on my grind for the last hour trying to like think of really like intelligent, important things to say. So now the hard work is done, in my opinion, I am going to film some TikToks that I didn't get done yesterday when the light went dark. I definitely want to talk about the Woman in Cabin 10 screening like properly across TikTok and Instagram, because I always tease like on my stories like where I've been and what I'm doing, but I feel like this is a really good one to actually talk about, so I'm going to do a video on that. And then this got me thinking, there's a few book to screen adaptations that I haven't really talked about at all, so I'm gonna do a couple of videos on those as well. I feel like 2026 is just gonna be like such a good year for this. So already we know we're gonna get Verity by Colleen Hoover as a film. Project Hail Mary by Andy Weir is coming out really early in 26, I think February, March time. And then we're also getting His and Hers by Alice Feeney adapted to screen as well. I think this might be a series, not a film. Either way, I'm excited. And then I'm also going to film a video about my like recent 5-star reads, because obviously at the start of this video you guys saw I got another one with A Patient Secret, which was fantastic, but I haven't updated you in a while on just like a 5-star video. So that's it for now. I'm going to film those, but I do have a small confession. Last night and this morning I read the whole of The Gingerbread Bakery literally in one go, like a few hours last night, a few hours this morning. It was so good, you guys. It was so good. I loved it. I feel like these books have gotten better and better for me, but it's only because, you know, by this point, by book 5, you know every single character in this damn town. So you kind of can't not like it in a way, even if like the main romance storyline, I guess, wasn't for you. You can't really not like it because you know everyone else. However, this absolutely hit. I can't even tell you, I've been anticipating Annie and Mac's story since like book 1. I was like, oh yeah, they'd make a great book 2. Book 5 we've waited until. So this couple has been teased throughout every single other Dream Harbour story, and we now know what happens / what happened, and it was brilliant. I absolutely loved it. I mean, on vibes alone it's a 5-star. Is it a 5-star in terms of its writing? Probably not, but I'll sit on that one. I also got this sprayed edge version from The Works, which is very fun. This is of course a Christmas book, so it was kind of weird reading Christmas vibes in September. I didn't hate it also. I thought I would. I thought I'd be like, whoa, no, like it's way too soon. We've not even had Halloween, but I didn't. Ooh, I forgot. Where are those texts? We love a multimedia queen. Oh, and also, before I film, I also managed to get a copy of Alice Feeney's next book, which is very, very exciting. I absolutely loved Beautiful Ugly, which was her most recent release before this one, and I feel like that has set a new standard of Alice Feeney books for me, so I am so hoping that this one lives up as well. This is coming out January 2026, so not that long to wait. I'll definitely give you my thoughts and opinions on this in a new release reading vlog very soon. This is like Inception. Here are 3 books that were the definition of 24-hour reads. I could not put these down. Will you be picking up any of these this weekend? You guys, I just opened my emails to celebrate the launch of Sky's gripping new series, All Her Fault. We'd love to send you a mailer of the book along with some merch. Besties, I already have the book. If you guys didn't know as well, All Her Fault is of course becoming a TV series. It's not out yet, so I haven't really been talking about it too much, but you best believe I will be. It's hard to talk about something when you don't know how good it's going to be. Like, I can tell you guys that it's going to happen, but whether it's going to be good or not, I won't know till I see it. I've just been doing a bit of editing, but my grandparents are coming for dinner very soon, so I'm making some pasta. It's another HelloFresh meal. I've been getting on with this so well because I sometimes just don't have the brain capacity to like think about what I want to make for dinner. So this is really easy. I've now upped it to get like 4 portions out of every meal, which is very handy because your girl does not like cooking. I do actually have a HelloFresh code if you want to try a box for free. It is an affiliate link, so I do make a small commission, but of course it's not really book related. It was just something they sent me and I thought I'm gonna try this. So if you want to give it a go, that's where you'll find it. I do spend about 80% of my day editing, and I literally haven't recorded myself editing at all so far because it looks really boring. It's just me sat on my phone. But that's exactly what I'm doing. I'm editing a video right now about the woman in Cabin 10 screening that I was talking about earlier. So I filmed this and then now I'm editing it straight away to post it straight away because it's just happened. So I feel like you guys will want to hear about this sooner than other stuff. But this team nailed it so much. I absolutely love the book.
Oh, for love, yeah.
The more days I've filmed of this week in the life, the more I've realised how much my life actually revolves around tea and coffee. Like, not only do I do it a lot, it is literally just the highlight. I'm like, oh, I'll show you now, yeah, make another brew, of course. You guys know I have such a love-hate relationship with my curls, but Only Curls have sent me all of these goodies to try, so I think it's a sign maybe to give it another go. I mean, sometimes I do feel sad putting all this heat on my curls and think, am I doing the right thing? Okay, so I've washed it using the Only Curls shampoo and conditioner. This is very exciting because this is, to me, like more of a luxury brand that I wouldn't buy day to day. They're not expensive, but obviously because they're specialist products, they're more expensive than just buying like Tresemme from the supermarket. So I've brushed it, it's still really, really wet. I don't know who I think I am, by the way, guys. And I'm gonna use this hydrating curl cream because that's what you're supposed to use. And that's all I'm gonna use. There's like a gel, a heat protectant, and a hair mask as well, but I'm not loving my hair at the moment in general, so it's not making me want to be super dedicated to it, I guess. Maybe it should have the opposite reaction. I have actually found less is more with anything I've done curly hair-wise. Like when I went away, just before I started filming this week in the life, I left my hair curly every single day, just use shampoo and conditioner and then like a bit of extra conditioner on my fingers to make sure it wasn't super dry. And they're some of the best curls I've ever had. I think you can overcomplicate things sometimes, like when there's so much on offer. I think if you just get something really simple, it's often better. Like that applies to literally anything, even if you have straight hair or like makeup, in my humble opinion. Okay, there we go, that'll do. And then once that's in, I just dry it because there's no way I could sit here for the rest of the day with like wringing wet hair. But I think it's okay to do it after you've put the product in. It's just if you do it before and like if you dried it and then brushed it, I think that'll be horrendous. Again, not your expert here. I'm gonna let this air dry. I feel like diffusing it just defeats the object. Like I may as well just straighten it if I'm gonna do that. So I'm gonna get another coffee, get comfy cozy, and then update you on what I thought of One Click by Andrea Mara, because I did of course finish that last night, and I've nearly finished the advanced copy of Claire McIntosh's new book as well. I feel like I've done quite a lot of reading this week. It may not have looked it on the vlog because I've tried to make this more like the other things in my life aside from like the book review side of it, but I think this is book number 3 of the week. This is how it turned out. I'm actually quite impressed. I feel like it's looking okay, considering I've also been using heat on my hair for the last few weeks. And now it's dinner time. We're back on the HelloFresh. This is on tonight's menu. Chili non-carne, because it's vegetarian, which I'm not mad about. I'm not a vegetarian, but I also don't really like cooking meat. Hello friends, it's quite late actually, it's 9 PM and I'm still working because I really want to get this YouTube video out, ironically. It's the one that I filmed earlier this week. The 20 thriller authors are my favourite book from each of them, so I'm just looking over it before it gets published. I'm obsessed with this mug. How cute. Oh wait, you can't even see. Okay, we have. Can you see this little guy? How cute. But what I loved about it was over these 2... And we are back to Wednesday, but don't worry guys, we've got the whole day to spend together yet. So today's October 1st and I need to film my September reading wrap, but I am gonna really quickly finish It's Not What You Think because I only have 20 pages left. And then I'm actually going to an advanced screening of another film. This time it's a horror film called Black Phone 2. I haven't watched the first one, so I think I might do that on the train down. So I'm like in the in the zone and the vibes. Also friends, I forgot to update you on One Click by Andrea Mara. I finished it like 2 days ago. I was kind of collecting my thoughts because I absolutely love Andrea Mara's writing. I love the way she writes and I love the topics that she covers. Like, she is a solid author. But I just wasn't reaching for this book. So I think I've landed on a 3.5. It was a solid, good read. I think just compared to her other books, wasn't my favourite. Also, the language around influencing and social media, which was used throughout the book, was outdated, but the book was written 7 years ago, so of course it's going to be outdated, but that was a little bit jarring, I think, to read, only because I'm so involved in that world. So I do recommend it. I just would recommend her newer books more. I feel like I'm back in my formal seat during this vlog. But I have of course finished It's Not What You Think by Claire Mack, and I have mixed thoughts on this. It was a fantastic, fantastic book. She does not ever fail when it comes to plot twists, quality of writing. I'm just unsure on the topics that she's chosen to talk about in this book. Unsure is probably not the right word, maybe surprised. But I think it's important that she does. I just didn't expect it from this author. So she's gone into some very, very important topics of race and socioeconomic status, and I think she's done a fantastic job on the commentary. And I personally have enjoyed learning a bit more about these topics that I wasn't already aware of and the types of conversations that are going on surrounding them. So overall, I did really enjoy this book. I think it was just a lot more profound than I was expecting. I was expecting more of a like missing person story, like as you normally get. But you'll have to see my full wrap up for my full thoughts. And then now I'm just gonna get ready. I'm going to London in 1 hour, 10 minutes. So I need to get changed, put some makeup on, and then we're going to this Black Phone 2 advanced screening, which is very exciting. I haven't watched the first one, as I mentioned earlier in the day today. So I've just bought it on Amazon Prime. I'm gonna take my laptop and watch the first one on the train whilst I'm doing a bit of editing, I think. But I think before anything, I need more coffee. We're nearly finished. This is the outfit I'm thinking of going with, but I'm also not sure about these boots through central London. You will of course recognise this from Friday night's outing. I am so glad I got this dress, I can't even explain it. This was the most successful TK Maxx shop I've ever done. Just throwing this jumper over because it is freezing outside, but I've done my makeup. I'm gonna make a coffee now and then run and get the train. Quite literally run and get the train. So that is a wrap on a week in my life. I do feel like I've done significantly less work than normal this week and more like event stuff and probably a little bit more reading than I would normally do. I absolutely loved the film last night, so Black Phone 2 is definitely worth watching at the cinema. I of course watched the first one on the train down and they definitely gave different vibes. If it hadn't been so obvious that the characters were the same in the second film as they were in the first film, I wouldn't have even put these two in the same like area of play. The first one was very much like a classic 80s slasher. A lot was set very much in one room. It was serial killer vibes. And then the second one was a lot more like paranormal vibes and set in the wilderness, and was set 10 years later than the first one, which I thought was really good. There was definitely like that really seamless continuation, but I think the vibe of each of the films was different, but either way I enjoyed it. And as for the books that I read this week, I finished One Click by Andrea Mara, which I did really like. I do like this author's writing a lot. You guys know how big of a fan I am of this author, but this was probably my least favourite by her, so I gave it 3.5 stars. Then I read The Gingerbread Bakery by Laurie Gilmore, and I have no faults with this book. Like, I just really enjoyed it. Taking it at face value, I loved it. I would say it's a 5-star, but that feels not really comparable to all the other 5 stars I give, and I'm really harsh with their ratings. So I'm gonna leave it open-ended, but I couldn't really fault it. I really enjoyed it. And then I just finished It's Not What You Think by Claire Mackintosh. There will be a full deep dive review coming on this, but of course you guys saw that I really liked it, so I think I'm gonna land on a 4.5 for that one. So as always, if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to subscribe to my channel. I cannot wait to see you next time.